What's popular, YouTube? Another day, another demo. Hope you've been good. We are here to watch Axel, the MVP.
Tried to flash, doesn't work out. In fact, Brokey holds himself off for a second longer, but that bomb is planted for Axel right now. They need to be able to trade on this. They need to be able to clear it. Tap for Twist. He finds the first shot. He's even trying to line up Twist through the window. Axel's not done. He's got it all again. This man's on one today, and it's Cloud9 with 6.
The most wonderful rifler of the tournament. He absolutely farmed every single damn series at this LAN, and not only did that, but him and Shiro had a great grand final, which for me completes the story, right? Cloud9, finally, they've met their online results with their LAN results. Yes, there were some asterisks here at IEM Dallas, some teams with the stand-ins, with teams missing, but still very impressive wins. And I gotta say, this is unreal. I mean, Shiro literally put up a 1.50 rating in a LAN final, and they won the tournament. I'm so happy for these guys. It's great. We've watched them all the way from 2020, where they were just playing on a team, trying to break into the top 20, coming close to playing against teams like Astralis, trying to get that one series win, to now winning LAN finals. Like, that's a story we have all watched these guys go on, and I'm incredibly happy for them. And I was a touch worried for someone like Shiro, who clearly, as we know, are playing, these guys all playing great CS, but not playing well, playoffs, finals, that kind of thing. That's no longer the case. They've broken it open. I think the floodgates go wide open now. We go to a LAN with better teams. I think they're a serious threat still. And yeah, we're here to watch Axel play against FaZe in one of the in the Mirage game. We watched both sides in this demo, and I don't want this intro to be too long, but watching him default on T side to start things off, and then going over to CT and trying to pick up on all the nuanced things that Axel actually does well as a rifler, with a couple of more mini-map segments in there as well. So hope you enjoy it, and yeah, let's hop in. It's your Axelence. Well, we tried. Here we are, man. This is wait, what? Oh, he just got a decoy with this. Okay. Axel, man. I thought it would be cool. We just did Mirage T side for Spinks, and I thought, why don't we watch the Mirage T side for Axel? He's got like 120 ADR on the CT side, so I think we might hang around for that. It's a long one, so we'll see, because Cloud9 games obviously are a lot longer. They use the clock, you know, the full clock really sometimes. So let's check it out. Let's see what's going on. Axel, man. What an amazing win at Dallas. I would like to just say that first. Like, congratulations, especially to him and Shiro, because not only have they, first of all, Axel got MVP of the whole event. He farmed every series. He looked absolutely unbelievable. And that's finals included. I mean, also Shiro had a 1.50. That was an unreal. I remember that pistol round. He had a 1.50 rating across 3 maps in the final. Shiro, like, wow. I mean, that's almost 90 rounds too. Like, am I crazy? Wasn't it? Oh no, sorry, that wasn't. Was it? No, that was the 3-0. It wasn't 90 rounds. They actually destroyed him. This map was almost 90 rounds, and Axel was the star of the show. So we're here to see what Axel has to bring on the T side of Mirage. I love Cloud9's Mirage overall. It's quite slow paced, but their defaults are incredible and very deliberate, and you can kind of see it's actually, funnily enough, they're kind of one of the easiest teams to understand. I think there's so much depth in the details. There's so much depth in the details with their defaults and the mind games that they play. But when you are watching with X-Ray on, there's so much deliberate about what they do that you can really easily understand what's happening. I feel like it's actually a great way to learn CS is to watch Cloud9, because yeah, very deliberate, very methodical, and even though it's the details that help them beat all of these top teams, and there's small mix-ups and stuff like that in their defaults, you can learn a lot about why each thing works. So we'll try to talk about that as much as possible. If you guys like the mini-map segments, I'm going to try to do those a lot. I feel like they color in some of the rounds that are quite bare bones in ways that I can't get out of just the POVs. But love to watch a good POV. You know me. You know us on this channel. We love a good POV, right? So yeah, Axel is, I think the last demo I've done with him was like Overpass, which is a standout map for him. Him and Shiro, the 1-2 punch on the A site. T-side lurking outside Monster. And here defaulting on T-side. He's got about 80 ADR. I think there's a nice clutch in this Mirage match. I was considering watching the Inferno game because he was really doing a ton. Ooh, that's a great refrag right there. And a sick flash, but a great turn back from Rops. Inters is not pre-aiming the correct spot. And they slowly get mowed down, so... Shoot, what was I saying? I forgot. Forger. Damn. How do you beat a FaZe like that? I mean, how do you beat players like that? Let's find out. So I think there was a lot of deaths for Axel in this game, but also, like in this half, I should say. But that doesn't mean it wasn't really strong. He was still the best rated player on both sides, as he was throughout. Right now, Axel and Shiro, off of this LAN win, are two of the top rated players on LAN this year. Of course, Simple's number one. He wasn't at Dallas, so that's a small thing. They won a LAN that didn't have Navi at it. That is one thing. You know, overall, I mean, this is people want to talk about how FaZe weren't playing as good as they should have been, whatever. I mean, whatever. Like people, I saw someone say that FaZe deserved the win. It's like, what are you talking about? They didn't win. What the? How can you say that, man? Like nothing in sports is perfect. Some people are not going to play well sometimes. Some people won't make it sometimes. Everybody has a whole laundry list of excuses for why their performance weren't great. And players, they don't get to complain about it. And we also don't get to give them special exceptions. I don't think, there are some extenuating circumstances, but you know what? If we want to extend that to Cloud9, some of these players have also had not the easiest time this year. So anyways, that's why you don't really get into the weeds and that kind of stuff. We just talk about the quality of play. But yeah. All right. So I need an underpass. Whoa, he runs. Wow, he speeds up this run and under. Why is that significant? Because you can be heard the entire time. Let's take a look at the map, all right? Twist could hear him making this run. So again, they're always very tricky about this, right? Everything feels deliberate, but for whatever reason, I guess with this window smoke, he felt like he could speed it up. Maybe it was that Hobbit had vision through Cat on this round. I'm not exactly sure. Let's see. Oh, Rops dies in the corner of window. He's holding that. And Exile's made very fast speed here at the top of Con. This is interesting, man. With the kill in window, he gets in there. Yeah, look at the tracking on Exile. And that flashes to help them peek CT. And Exile's been tasked to throw a couple of grenades, so he'll die to the rotation. Actually, quite a risky move for Kerrigan to come through. Maybe it's because he was throwing those nades, but pretty huge to get that kill. Looks easy on Exile, but, Exile's not thinking that they're going to simply come through the murder hole. One does not simply come through the murder hole. But, man, that fast run. I wonder if they masked his footsteps a bit on that last round somehow with Hobbit. Not sure exactly. But he got away with it. He got away with it. Got into the window fast. Got to be careful with that window guy. No, Rob's dying there. So one thing that Axel is quite well known for is just with the entire ethos of Cloud9, formerly Gambit, is again not using much utility, as Maui will tell you. Lowest flash assist tournament over tournament, but very deliberate with every piece of utility that they use. Very careful about what signals they will give. And funnily enough, Cloud9 use a lot of utility that, oh, this flash, that doesn't come into, that doesn't directly, attack people. It's a lot of the time it's just about misdirection. And that's what makes them special, so they stand out. Every round we're throwing this nade to try to punish a push. We hear a deagle off Cat as well. So let's see what the anti-eco looks like. See, Axel, when he's jiggle peeking these angles, he's not trying to necessarily smooth them. He's just holding his crosshair in the right spot for the peak, but not just holding the corner as tightly as possible while moving. Let's look at the entry pathing here as he's first out. We'll find one. There was a crossfire, yeah. So that's the whole deal. When you get to that point, that is the that's the trap wire for the CTs when they have the sandwich under bow crossfire. Of course, as your first player out, you're hoping to get one of the two. Your teammates can deal with the rest with the mollies or whatever. But that's the advantage the CTs have of killing the first guy, just exemplified in that situation. Sandwich is, of course, a lesser played position. A little action on A, and now they might not know. They might think, well, they might know there's no ticket player in this spot, so Brokey's going to probably make a rotation around. Rops dies again, and maybe they can attack Rain. Let's see. Oh, maybe not. Maybe they won't. Oh, wow. Okay. Actually, don't know how he pulled that off. Let's keep going. Actually, quite a speedy one. I think maybe we do hang around for CT side. Again, same nade, same jump spot. Looks like an easy nade. I wanted to make a video about why FaZe are the best CS team in the world, but I said I'll wait to see if they win Dallas because I didn't think they would. I did say that, right? Okay, Brookie picks him off. And I mean, partly because I knew the fatigue would come in. Major's a very tough, long cycle, and obviously, someone put out a stat about how many teams win. It's like only Navi are the only team after a major to win the next, like the following tournament. Of course, the field wasn't insanely strong off after Stockholm, or in that time in general. Navi were already causing a few roster changes. Wow. Wow. We got to do Shiro demo too. We got to do Justice and watch a Shiro demo, that's for damn sure. But yeah, I mean, Shiro... I had like Shiro like number 4 last year as a player. I think stats arguments meant you could put him up to like number 3, number 2, whatever. But I felt like the really important high pressure games, I feel like they just didn't improve. I just didn't feel like they didn't improve all that, even though they can do it. I knew they would. I knew they'd get to this point, being able to close out lands. Anybody who's worth their salt watching CS understood that they were playing insanely high level CS, and any players that you talk to, all highly regarded. Like there was a point last year where Config was just saying that he believed Axel was the best rifler in the planet. And these are kinds of things that players in some ways can have better opinions on. They play directly against these guys, right? They prepare for them, they play against them, and there's something different. When you have a teammate that you can talk about, you have a different opinion than what it looks like to the rest of the world when you play with them. This guy's the best comms in the world. This guy's the most balanced. This guy's the smartest. That kind of stuff you really see more as a teammate. Or you see from playing against somebody a lot. You get a different perspective than when you're watching streams, even watching demos. It's just not quite the same. This is the next closest, X-ray off. We're trying to get a real feel for what it looks like when Axel swings on somebody and they don't stand a chance, but... All right. B defaulting. So we can see that here he's going to be a lurk, right? He's not here to make first contact. Oh, all right. So now he's made noise, actually, from running away and getting tagged by the molly. Let's see if he comes into this or not. And how. It looks like he will. Interesting that they've already made it 5v4. And now, okay, yeah, he'll get spotted from the window, yeah. I mean, they had the info here. Oh, shoot, okay. There's the gun. I wonder if... Okay. Well, he turned back around, which brings the gun closer, at least, to his teammates. But they'll keep on it. 3 rounds left in the half. I think C9 win from here. No spoilers. I actually don't know that. That might not be true. Or maybe I'm lying to create suspense. Be careful of that cross. He can be seen with the opper. And interesting that we get a late flash. Now that means that someone could be close right, of course. Axel has everything to the left. It could also be nothing. And the cat split's coming on. And we hear, I think, some utility being used on cat. That might have been Twist's up close. Yep, looks like it. And they're just not going to believe that anybody's pushed up. Kerrigan will die instantly. Nothing more required. Axel's playing split the difference in the post-plant situation. And he's going to spot one. Face his own smoke. Brokey gets worked. Last CT, gotta be B halls, right? Late market? Or saving. Saving. Ah, okay. Rops will take him out. Here, they don't need the underpass, they go quiet. Axel is jump spotting, and Hobbit is here to try to punish that push if it comes. You've seen the activity from Twist off Cat. This is a threat to your underpass players. But it is also kind of a counter, right? If your cat player is not scared of underpass, or there's no reason to be scared of underpass, then they can swing on angles that don't exist otherwise. For example, bench is a really good way to fight cat. You know, the bottom of connector is a really good way to fight cat. These are two good positions that you can get into way more easily from underpass than from top mid. They require less resources to get there. Can be a lot sometimes, actually. Connector is a highly contentious position on the map. And right now we're looking for Twist. We're being aware of Twist. And in a spot like this, you know, the peak won't come for free, but sometimes we'll see people top mid put pressure on ladder room so that the peak comes out. And they don't even know if Twist is in here right now. Axel will transition into the window. A really nice kill. Of course, not a super big advantage coming into that fight, so it had to be a headshot. And now B rotation can come from underpass. A little bit less likely. Axel 1v3, here's one in the jungle. This off angle is very strong for the first kill. Holding for the crouch peek. Not responding. There it is. Ooh. Wow, that's well done. Okay. Yeah, just great rifle work. Separated the 3 1v1s. There was no easy way to swing on him. And didn't freak out when the bomb got tapped. That's the other big one. No footsteps made. That just increases your chances of at least winning the first duel. We can see now there's an overemphasis of Cloud9 to just be careful about the underpass plays. Axel was watching it by himself earlier on. I guess I could talk about this spot, for example, for a second. So this spot is a really important spot in post-plant situations because you can watch you can watch an angle that covers both the market window down this way and as well as the doorway as they come out from the CT side. So this guy can be your first contact, and it can allow for other swings to occur. For example, if your bench player is standing right around here or around here, for example, they can come out and then fight your door if, let's say, 2 CTs are both coming out. Now, this guy knows, and the CTs know that he's here. This is obvious. So sometimes CTs will swing out with 2, and then they'll try to trade this as fast as possible so they can get the retake going. But that doesn't mean that this is a bad spot. In fact, the guy here has the ability to stay out of view of anything from the doorway or inside the market, unlike every other spot looking in, right? They're all exposed as they're watching it. So that's why this spot is so special and unique and really good. And if they take first contact, lots of ways to trade afterwards, okay? And the counter to this is the underpass walk-up that the CTs will sometimes pull off. If somebody is right here and it's early enough, this guy is a free kill to go that way. So sometimes you'll see people walking underpass or waiting for that contact before exiting. So that's a nice counter. But that's why if you're on the T side, you can get your nades off, get to this position. And the site has these kind of 4 pillars, right? And the site has 4 pillars, and all of these pillars are blocking vision that allow the CTs sometimes to actually be able to jump out. And if you have a spot right there beside the window and you can babysit it, then suddenly jumping out and sneaking into the site, sneaking up to a pillar is not possible either. No other spot on the post plant can watch the back of empty pillar, for example, which is a very important spot where the CTs will try to get to. We have a good CT side here from Maxal, so why don't we go ahead and take a look? I might skip through this. Yeah, that's okay. Axel, one of the best damn cat players in the game. I think you pretty much always put your best aimer, your best rifler off cat, and someone who can pick up an op sometimes also is a boon. But you can also just start your op on cat, no problem. Ooh, okay. He tries to refresh the position, but it's being watched. Doesn't get there. Quick L here, and 11-7 for FaZe. They're going to really need him. Yeah, so Axel is picking that up. Oh, Brokey misses a shot. Brokey had a really good counter right there to what Axel was trying to do. So let's see if they can make him regret missing. Axel's response, of course, would have been huge. But, oh, this is the boost that I was talking about in the last demo that we see FaZe... that we see, oh, excuse me, what we see Cloud9 using now, which is kind of cool. Wow, the way he's holding it, he's holding the wall. So, yeah, guess that still does 100 damage, gives him a little extra time to react. But I don't think they see anybody in this specific match off it. But think about how great that boost is. The only issue with the boost is the resource expenditure. Like, if you think about every player as a resource and every piece of utility as a resource, then players are quite a big resource, right? You only have 5 on the map. So utility can be great and stuff, but when you stack, as soon as you stack, that means that you've weakened another part of the map because you have 2 players in one spot. And I think it's really important to think about your map like that when you think about redundancies for CT side, and you think about boosts are good examples. If the guy on the bottom's not doing anything right there, he might be watching the cat run across. That can be something, but if they're not doing 2 things, then you've got to, then you're going to have a time limit on that boost. Or, like in that round, we had a 5v4. So you have kind of the ability to play that as an advantage and not be so worried because you've already got a kill. So Axel is actually being quite aware of anything fast towards connector because they're going to come up the right side, and it also covers cat. So perfect, taking Kerrigan out. Instant 5v4. And still actually making sure that nobody snuck up. Well, he's in jungle throwing nades. Oh, okay. Shot gets missed. Really wanted that. Notice Axel's comfortable 180ing both ways. I know that's a really stupid thing that I've just noticed, but I don't know why I noticed that, but I just feel like it's interesting. Or he's just flicking counter to what I would in terms of turning around. But that just stood out to me for absolutely no reason. Okay. Are we jumping cat in this situation? We talked about this in the last game. Oh my god, is this going to be a good example? Okay, they smoke window. Yeah, that's broke you down. Oof, that's a quick one. Tried to deny mid control. They still lose vision, so this is still mid 1 by FaZe. It's something important to note. And I think Shiro just hard scoped here. I actually kind of watched to see how this round plays out, so they won't hear him earlier on. Coming off cat, he made sure to scope early. Oh, that was actually nuts. He jumped while he was on the ladder, so he popped out a little bit. Impossible for Robs right there. Crazy that Cloud9 come back into this. Versus FaZe on LAN, which is huge revenge because they played against FaZe in Cologne while they had an absolutely winning head-to-head versus FaZe online. And then as soon as land came back, it was like, oh, all the legends who are great on land do have an enormous advantage. And that's when they kind of changed the narrative. And I was the guy. People have accused me of being the guy who is saying too much about the players who are good on land. Oh, that's overrated. All that stuff. I was the guy who, out of the online season, was saying that Cloud9 and Heroic and all these guys online, Big even, they're going to be just fine. They're going to transition soon. I was wrong, you know. But I learned from that. I changed the story. And yeah, definitely favored teams with more LAN experience. And I actually held that opinion not just because of myself. Okay. So hold on. Kind of a annoying pest to deal with right here. I held that opinion because of Glaive. Glaive thought that all these guys like Gambit at the time and everything, that they were just going to be great, and they didn't think that LAN would matter at all. And it didn't matter that much. I mean, they're still making top fours, but it did matter. It did matter for sure. Ooh, did they Astralis smoke top mid? That's rare. So that's a smoke top mid that doesn't cover everything, and it takes a little bit of time to land. But if your opponents do not mid control right away, then now they're the ones who have to go and clear top boxes, specifically spots like this, for example, spots like this. So the smoke covers 90%, but it doesn't cover every single thing. But if anything, like a passive default from the T side, like out here, then they just don't see anything. So you wouldn't throw that smoke if you think a team's going to go aggro towards mid because they'll beat it. They'll be able to see things. Can be kind of a waste. Okay, interesting where this smoke gets dropped, allows Axel to one way over top of it and keep vision on Cat. Creating utility in the open on certain timings is a huge part of 2022 CS. It's something that people have been doing for years, but I think it's more important than ever. It's one of the biggest kind of ways to show how ready you are for a certain team. And it can be such an incredibly huge counter, right? Creating a piece of ephemeral cover on a map that people understand like the back of their hand when you know an exec is coming. Okay, lots of footsteps here. And see when footsteps can be deliberate, right? They have to be respected right there. Could have been a fast B hit coming in. And so maybe they don't molly if they don't hear anything, but Axel's going to calm that as the cap player. And as a cap player, you're responsible for a lot of the early round calms. You're the guy who hears them underpass like Twist does. You hear B-apps for the rushes, and you're the early warning system for your B side anchor. Okay, so don't play cat if you have bad comms. I want this AK so bad. Murking him. Okay. Oh, hold up. Oh, wow. Okay. As the top mid smoke comes down, a beautiful shot. Miss Molly. That's fine. You got a kill. Tried to stop anything fast towards underpass. They're going to come up. And now Cat's actually an issue because it's wide open and Axel was responsible for that. So this means... Oh, well, they have B-apps now. Oh, they're so smart. All right. And Axel gets the timing inside of the window. That timing is enormous. So that timing is opened up. I was talking to Kinder about this actually. So when you see riflers in window get a timing to fight mid where a smoke comes up, it's because the connector guy bought time for them by taking a fight or shooting or making presence. So that's why we saw Axel wait until that smoke came up, and that was perfect where Shiro was able to show himself. I think he actually got a kill, and then that's free, basically. They've got to trade him. So Axel is actually trying to catch them, wants them to come through, wants them to take over middle and walk towards B. And Inters is push B apps, so he's actually pretty fine. He has a big advantage to win his first duel. And Axel doesn't want to show himself too early, so he wants them to Like, at the point that he's taking that fight... Oh, this was so nuts, man. He was halfway through his spray, and he still won the second duel. Halfway through his spray, his gun is hot, and he won the recoil reset. That was just ridiculous. And this is... I remember Twist in the 1v2 now. And XL aces. Okay, that's beautiful. Yeah. Best rifle control in the game right now, man? I don't know. Probably. Monster. That flash you just threw is for your A-site players so that they can fight and also slow down the ramp presence while people are crossing. It looks like right now Cloud9 are a little uncomfortable, a little out of position to deal with the A hit, but they're not in terrible spots, but they don't have CT control, so this should actually be kind of hard. They just ran back out of window. Oh, but thank God Axal is here. And he just got shot from 2 different spots. Hobbit would love to swing into this without getting smoke blind. And... oh, everyone gets taken down. Okay. And they find Twist. Cool. 14-13. And I think Axile jumps. He might just be jumping for fun, but I think he jumps so that he can hear footsteps while he's running. If there is something fast upper or underpass. Okay, let's see how he responds to the window smoke. You typically don't want to break this grate open by yourself. If you have a CT and window, they can pop it. But you can also shoot through it without breaking it. And anybody who shoots through this will have their first bullet do like half the damage or even less. I'm actually not sure how much that metal penalizes you. And, oh, this is big. So Axel doesn't have to take that angle aggressively because there's still 2B and 1 pushed aggressively off Cat. But he can come in late, which is even better. That was just really small, but good positioning decision from Axel. It's actually fine whoever takes the fight first. But in a spot where his B-side anchor was alone and Inters wasn't here on Cat, he would have to be peeking for the cross to make sure they don't turn the corner. Because once they turn the corner, they don't care that you were in ladder room. It's far less dangerous. There it is. See, we're holding the right side when people are sneaking into connector. It's because they're trying to jump up the right. That's how you sneak up to the top of connector. So, yeah, they crush it, man. The fast mid play gets shut down. Finally gets the round he's looking for. Exile wins. Man, I think that demo had even more. That demo had even more to talk about, but a lot of it has to do with nuance. But try to catch a bunch. That's Exile, such a fantastic player. Super happy for him. I'm super happy for Shiro. I'm super happy for the team to have gotten their LAN win. I think it's about damn time. I don't think it's the last. I think they've only grown in confidence, and the fact that they cleared it with such a strong final as well speaks volumes about how good this team actually is, and that the pressure is ephemeral. Is ephemeral. It just like smokes. Okay, the pressure can eventually go away, and the good CS will float to the top. I think that's what we learned with Cloud9. I want to see the same story for Heroic. I don't want the story to be online versus on LAN. I want the story to be everyone playing their best CS, crowd or not, and the best team wins. So feels like that's coming to, that puzzle piece is starting to fall into place. That's excellent. Hope they had a great time in America. And let's see about the future demos. I'm going to do another video like we did with the Mo edited for the, what was it for Dallas. We're going to do one for Lisbon as well, where it's who cares about Blast Lisbon, talk about narratives. Record that tomorrow. Only got one map to do for WePlay. Make sure to tune into that with twitch.tv/WePlayCSGO every day. I'm doing the Academy League. It's been great. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
For my daddy ho, smoking dope, reciting raps out on the patio. My boss said you ain't putting